Welcome back everyone to the back garden yard. Today is an exciting day. We're going out and we're going to pick a big bucket of tomatoes. That's right, the tomatoes are coming in now in buckets. And then I'm going to show you how to trim and tie and take care of those tomatoes so that in August you're going to still get another big bucket of tomatoes, maybe even into September. Also, we're going to pick some other things, but the main focus of today's video are those tomatoes. So let's go get them. Today is tomato harvest and retie day. And so the big harvest is today. And I have protected these tomatoes. I have put sunshades on them. And they are paying off now. We're going to have a big harvest. So let's get out there and grab some of these tomatoes. I've already started, but they look so good, I said I gotta take a video of this one here. So let's go out and get tomatoes. And one thing you want to do is when you pick them, go ahead and get this green part out of the top. That makes them look nice, but what happens is if you have a little piece of the stem in here like this and you throw them in a bucket, then it's going to they roll around and it'll stick and ruin a tomato. I've ruined many a tomato by leaving these on. So go ahead and I try to pick them off when I pick them like this, just kind of flick them, but see it comes with that stem. So go ahead and pull that off. That's totally not needed. And it wants to come with most of the tomatoes, but take a second and pull that off. Okay. Get them in the bucket. Notice I'm behind the fence here. And here you can actually see something has opened that one up and they're eating it. We lost a tomato there, a very nice little tomato, but we're going to throw it in the bucket. We don't want to keep a bad tomato. Okay, let's get these in the... Oh, knocked my head off. Okay, so I think you get the idea that it's going to be a nice harvest. I will cut this off and I'll turn this back on at the end when I pick this row of tomatoes. Okay folks, this is all off the 6 plants, and of course these are not the first tomatoes. You can look at some of my earlier large harvest videos that I have put out and you can see a lot more tomatoes that I picked, but this is probably the biggest picking of tomatoes I will get off these 6 plants. I'm actually going to go in and weigh it, but as you can see there's some very nice tomatoes here. And if you notice, I pulled all the little green tops that were holding them out, and you've got them all sitting upright. You don't store a tomato that way, you store it this way, sitting up. So just remember that, do not store them upside down. But these are some beauties here. So anyway, I'm going to go in and weigh that and I'll report that back later. But now I'm going to take the camera down and we're going to walk around and we're going to see what we need to do to prepare this garden for the next round of tomatoes. So let's take a look at it, and then I'll show you actually as I'm preparing it what I'm doing. So to start with, let's look at these. This tomato plant here came from the suckers that I rooted. You may remember back in June, I think about June the 13th, I picked some suckers and rooted them and brought them out here to plant for the July garden. Well, they have rooted, they have taken hold, and they're moving up. They're almost ready to be tied to the fence here. And I need to get my clippers and cut off those bottom leaves. And so that's exactly what I'll do to keep the blight from getting over on these. Now, you can look and you can see there is some blight on those plants there, but this is a before, and this is the cucumbers that I started back in June, and they are now climbing, looking nice. This one is. I did lose one plant that was there. I've got another one that's trying to take off here, and I've got another one that's climbing. And that's what's going on with the ones that I planted. And then, as you can see, there's still some problems with the tomatoes. I really was waiting to make this big picking to get the original ones off before I went in there and trimmed them and retied them. And that's what I'll be doing, is trimming and retying these tomatoes. And like I say, it's kind of a mess in there, but once we get it all cleaned up, there's going to be another nice crop of tomatoes coming in. Let's look at my back here. You got very nice growth here. And so we're going to tie these up like that and let them put on some more tomatoes if they will. I think they will. So anyway, I will be back when I start that. I've got other things to pick and take care of right now. So anyway, I just wanted to show you. I've got these peppers, and these are yellow banana peppers, and you got to get these bottom ones off. I'll just drop those. And anyway, that's the idea. They're starting to produce, and they'll produce until frost if I take care of the plants, which I will. Here's another couple, and the last yellow banana plant, yellow banana pepper plant. We'll drop those. And I'll be right back to pick those up. This one's still waiting. Okay, so that's that. So anyway, there's work to be done out here, and I'll be back as I start it and show you what we're doing. Okay folks, this is what it looks like after I have worked on these tomatoes, and I have thinned the diseased leaves from the bottom. I have gotten the leaders off that didn't have the correct growth, and I have tied them up to the top. And so I'm gonna go in for a closer look. I only got 2 plants done so far. I will show you what they look like before. I've got 2 more of these better boys to do, and the early girls. So let's go down here and take a look at the ones that aren't done. And this is what they look like before I did my work. As you can see, it's a big mass. They're still very healthy and good, but there's some diseased leaves and foliage I need to get out of there. And then this is what it looks like once I get the trimming done and the tying done. So I've tied this leader up, and the way you can pick out a leader, if it's got tomatoes on it down here and they're about to bloom, and it's got blooms up here, this is a good one to save. So you want to go ahead and tie it up, and then you'll notice that you want to pull off all the leaders, the suckers that are coming out right here, and you want this end here to be what's going to make the next tomatoes. And you can see that over here. This is the same plant, and it went through, and you can see how nice it is. I do see a sucker right there that I need to go over there and get off. But anyway, so it's blooming over here, and it's going to put on more tomatoes, and that's going to be my August tomato crop. So before I show you the finished product or the finished trimming, there's one more thing we've got to do, and that is we've got to fertilize them one last time. And of course, what are we going to use? People that watch the channel regularly know it's 10 10 10. So I went and I got some. I'm gonna get about this much per plant, and I'm gonna sprinkle it around, trying not to get right down in the base, kind of like you would salt on food. And I'm gonna do that for all 4 of them. And it's supposed to thunderstorm today, so hopefully that'll wash it in. A lot harder to see it where I haven't trimmed it. But I gotta get it around that base. There it is. Anyway, I'll stop it right there, and then we'll show you the finished product of the trimming today on the first 2 plants. Over here is the first plant. You see how nice that looks down there and opened up. And once again, I'll be picking this one tomorrow, and the reason is if you let them get just too ripe, something's usually going to eat them. Now, I was very lucky today. I found these just vine ripe, ready to go tomatoes hiding down in the foliage down near the bottom, and nothing had decided to sample them. And that'll be dinner tonight right there. But anyway, back to the mission. So over here you can see where I tied this one up, and I tied this one up. And then this is a really good sign when you see a leader coming through here and it's already got tomatoes on it, blooming again up here. Definitely want to save that one. And this is the one I wanted to take that leader off of. And this one is so healthy and it's blooming, so even though it's an extra leader and these flowers didn't set, I'm gonna leave it because it's blooming here and it's a nice healthy leader. So there's an exception to every rule. And over here, this one's looking nice. Got a leader here that's got to come off. And I think I'm gonna leave this leader and this leader on. I can actually see the buds on this one. Of course, that's the main leader that I'm trying to grow. I'll leave this one on just to see if it blooms for a little while, and we'll see what happens. And then that is the end of these. You can see where I've got them, the first 2 plants as they came through the fence, all tied up here. Very nice, blooming at the end. So that's going to be my August crop, and this is something you really need to do, or at the end of July you won't have any. Okay folks, so here's today's harvest. I think I've got 17 pounds of tomatoes here off of 6 plants, and then in the back I got a bucket full of cherry tomatoes. Then I picked all the Silver Queen corn because you can't let it get overripe. You got a whole basket of Silver Queen corn. That's probably, I don't know, 40 ears. Silver Queen. Then I picked a little okra, some banana peppers, a yellow squash, more cucumbers, and a couple of bell peppers. And I think I've actually got a couple of Asian peppers in there, but it doesn't matter. So anyway, this is today's harvest, and I'll be back. And if you like this kind of content, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video.